All right, welcome everybody out there. How you all doing today? I am back. I am trying to get back on track, trying to get caught up. Got a lot of things going on. Let's go over and take a look at some of our thunks over here that we had posted up. So let's scoot all this over. Let me scoot everybody over a little bit. And some of the notes I posted up earlier in the members area were right that you basically we were looking at a 9. We hit this red 9 right here, and this can bleed, right, or it can flip. So I always usually when you're on a TD9, especially on the 12-hour here, the 12-hour TD9s, they don't really like to bleed that much. Like there's a TD9, you see it bleed out a little bit. A lot more volume there, right? Another TD9, a little bit of bleeding. The TD9s really don't like to bleed out that much on the 12 hours. Now, the volume is just absolutely died out for us here. And one of the things I noticed, I said, hey, this is still bearish. I still see this as bearish. We came down and we entered this cluster of support right here, right? This is a block of support right here in the price action. Came right down, landed right into this block, tested it once, tested it twice. Now let me show you what is really, really important to look at here is this right here. We have this 2017, this is a large historical support right here. This is a weekly historical support. So if you go back to the weekly, you take this back to 2017, you'll see that you have a lot of support and resistance right here. Okay, and as we came down, it's 35.15-ish is the range right in here. And you see what happened. Look what happened. You came down, you tested it, you hit that support, you dead cat bounced off it, you tested it again, and we're dead cat bouncing off it. A little lesser of a dead cat bounce, right? But we're trying, and you can see past recently, right? Hit it, bounced, hit it again, big bounce, right? Tore through it, and now it turned into support right here. So it came up, turned into support. I'm sorry, turned into resistance, rejected us down, right? And then we came back up, hit it again. It acted as resistance, throw us down. And then we finally broke over it, came back down into it, bounced in the area of it, dead cat bounced out, dead cat bounce, and then here we are, right? So we have tested this historical support and resistance now multiple times. 1, 2, ripped through it, right? Turned into support. 3, 4, bounce, bounce, bounce. We've just been beaten on this historical support line right here that goes all the way back, and I can show you how that works, right? So you pull back on the weekly, you run yourself back up here. There it is, 35.13. You see how that cursor is? You see where the wick is? This is where we're having, oh look, touch there, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. Lots of open and closes on this weekly. All because of this single wick that ran back here. Look at how well that works out. Just absolutely beautiful. You see all the support and resistance. Now we are right on the top side of it, right? We hit it. We gave it a little pokey, right? Just a little tickle, and then we're bouncing off it one more time. But if you go back, right, you can see we're going to pull this back to the 12-hour. So you go back to your 12-hour chart, and you can actually see really what's happening in the closer term of how we've been rejected off of this little wick that we had, this single wick that plays back to 2017, right? I do expect for us to get a little bit of a retrace. I'm expecting a little bit of retrace. I know there's some people out there that are going a little uber bullish right now, but I'm expecting a little bit of a retrace back up. All this is, and in my notes, if you come over here and take a look at my notes, I said that right now longs are super high, right? The volume sucks, okay? Any retrace here, I think is bots. It's just bots. They're doing their thing. That's what they're doing. The bots are just doing their thing. Hey, right? Now, the worst thing to happen here is for this to flip up into here and, pull this up to 3,600. Not an issue. Completely expected with a perfected 9 TD, a red TD9. I'd expect for this to have a 1 to 4 candle retrace. If we don't get it right next during this next couple candles, We're going to get a little bit of a retrace here, and then we're going to see what happens. Now, I would prefer right here with this really crappy volume profile that we have set up, this very macro bearish volume. So this is local macro volume, very bearish. I would like to see, you know, a little pop up. Ooh, ugly if we flip this to a green 1 here. We've got, we're 7 hours into this day right here. This would be really ugly to flip this into maybe a 1, 2, 3, then fall back down, come down here, test this trend line. Now, this trend line is imaginary. It does not exist yet. I created this trend line here. There's a reason why I have this trend line. Now, this also, I have a trend line on this, this red wedge right here. You see the red wedge in the background? There is an imaginary trend line there, and there's an imaginary trend line just a little bit deeper here. Now, there's 2 reasons, and this trend line doesn't necessarily have to fall right here. It can swing in any of this range right here. There's nothing that stops this from being a little bit lower. Now, I have this as a box down here. The reason I have this box is I would like to see a retrace on the 786 and or a little bit lower on the 200 MA, which is down here on the weekly, right? So we're going to go pop over. Let's pull this, go blind side on this, pull it weekly up. There it is. There's the weekly. Weekly's parked down there, 3264. 3264 is very critical. This will act as a support for us. I still would like to touch this, right? Weekly 200 MA 3264, right? I would like to get down here and give this just a little bit of a tap and a tickle. So here's kind of what I'm seeing right now, what I would like to see as we play this out right here. All right, I would like to see us come down and tap and tickle this and then bounce, because here's exactly what's going to happen. Everybody is going to lose their damn minds. And let me see, let me pull another chart up. I want to pull a chart up I can actually use. I don't need this. BTC, USD, stamp. All right, so here's what I want to show you guys. This is kind of what my thunk is, right? It's very important to understand that when you create a bottom, right? When you create a bottom, right? And let's say this is the bottom. It is at least a bottom here locally. This would be considered, let's just call this, let's name it what it is. It's a local bottom, okay? I still think this is just considered a local bottom, not an actual bottom. So what I think here is I would like to see a test bottom, right? And once a test bottom occurs, what I think will happen is I think we're going to go like this, right? Come down to a test bottom, right? Then if, and here's the big thing, there's 2 things that are detrimental to this right now, right? Number one, longs are too effing high, right? I mean, the shorts are just way too effing high right now. I don't like the longs. There's too many longs out there positioned. So this bounce right here, this is why I still think we need to go lower. So yeah, we're going to bounce up a little bit. Everybody will be like, you know, let's zoom in, right? There'll be a little bit of a bounce up here. Let's make this a little smaller. This little white line, right? Little bounce up to 3,600. Everybody gets, oh my God, this is it. This is amazing, right? And then, like I say, that's high side. And then we're going to get this retrace because there's way too many damn longs out there. I just think there's a lot of longs out there. Then we're going to get this. This is going to be our questionable. This is really where the rubber hits the road, because right in this area, which we're going to call our test bottom, if this holds, this will create a FOMO effect, right? So what you're going to get is you're going to get a bounce FOMO. Everyone on crypto Twitter who is a perma bull will go crazy and call this the test of the bottom and call the bottom for crypto, right? This will be a false bottom test, right? In my own humble opinion, we will get a FOMO run to 44, 43, 43, 50 to, I mean, this thing can run all the way to 48, 50. We showed you guys I have that trend line, right? We get a FOMO run. Okay, bounce, bounce. There we go, right? And this is, so here we're going to go off log. We're going to pull this back, right? We're going to, where's our line? Where's our line? Where's our line? Give me the line. Hold on a second. I got it, peoples. All right. There it is. Okay. So if we can run, and I think we will get this FOMO run, you know, it's going to take some time, right? Because, you know, it's just not going to go straight up like crazy, but it'll come over something like this. Right, it's going to come over something like that right there. And you know, you have two real, you know, you're going to have a couple struggles. There's going to be, you're going to have one at right here. So the first one will be right in this range. Right, then the second one will be right over here. And then there'll be a massive capitulation down. So I did this for everybody yesterday. This has already been done. This is nothing new, right? I showed this yesterday. And this is what I'm going to call. So what will happen is you're just going to get all these people that are going to go, oh, this needs to go here. So this will be my FOMO long area. So people will just be like, oh my God, the bottom was tested twice. That's it. This is bullish. We've proven that the bears tried it. They couldn't do it. And you know, this is, you know, everybody is a bear is a freaking idiot. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So now this is what I think scenario. This is the bullish scenario. This is actually, believe it or not, this is my bullish scenario. Right? So this would be, this is going to equal my bullish scenario. Right? And you've got your two targets. You got your two targets above. There's nothing wrong with either one of these targets. Right? Boom, boom. Okay? And then now the other thing is unless we wipe out these longs, now here's the bad news, right? The bad news is unless you wipe out some longs, this will be an issue to run back up, right? So I'm going to make this red. Well, wait, yeah, there you go. So unless we wipe out a bunch of longs right here, dumping down, like people will be like, ah, right? I got to get out of my longs. There's just way too many longs right now. We have way too many longs. So this needs to wipe out these longs, and this needs to come down here and test this, because this right here is where all your support, you know, we've got the 200 MA and blah, 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 blah. Now, if this breaks, right? If this breaks and we go down, and what's the next target we hit, right? This should be very simple for everybody, right? This is our next target is our monthly 50 MA, right? It's that simple. Our monthly 50 MA is just waiting down here, right? It's just chilling. It's just, so the test bottom is going to be the 0.786, which is 3360, or the weekly 200 MA, right? So there's that, okay? So there's that right there. And this is your monthly. Let's go find it. Let's go find it. We don't just guess. We got to go find it. Where are you at? Month. All right. Ooh, ooh, you're very high now. Look at how high you are. 30.31. 30.31 is where we're at. Okay, we're going to go back to the weekly. All right, get down here. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a 12. It must have been 12 hour. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is at 30. Much higher. 30.31. There we go. And a little bit higher. There we go. And this equals 30.31. Okay, so now if we do this same thing, same scenario I have, right? So I'm going to say the same scenario. If it doesn't happen there, then this can happen, right? Bounce off the 50, and then you'd get the same action where you'd hit the 50 right there. And it'd be like, everybody, this is crazy. This is great, right? This is super amazing. And everybody, you know, we get this FOMO run because everybody says, all right, we've tested it. Now, let's talk about the bearish scenario right here, okay? Okay, so breaking into the 2K region is horrific, right? This is horrific, okay? And we're going to make this red. Okay, we're going to make this red. We'll turn this yellow. Okay, so breaking into the 2K region for us would be horrific. So that would, you lose the 50, you basically lose the 50 support, you lose the 200 support, you lose the 50 support, and then you break into the 2K region. Breaking into the 2K region can cause a sell-off, right? This can cause a sell-off. To the, I would say, I like 27.50 is my first support. And after that, I would say 26.50 is not bad. And, you know, you'd see a sell-off into this range. We then would turn, but here's the issue. So if this happens, right, the monthly 50 MA becomes resistance, right? Then your monthly 50 MA becomes resistance, and then it just, everything, it just sucks, right? And that's pretty much where we're at right now. But here's the thing. You have to get rid of some of these damn longs. And I know there's two, I get it. There's two ways to get rid of longs, right? There's completely two ways to get rid of longs. When number one is we go to the moon and everybody liquidates their longs taking profit, right? I want to say that right now with this low volume environment where we're at, I don't really see that happening. I don't see a big run up from right here. I don't see a run up breaking the previous high right here. I see us coming down, then let's charge up, right? Go up to 3,600. Maybe right here a little bit, get back up into this consolidation area and then dump out, right? Just like that, right? Do just something just like this, right? There's your resistance right now, right above you. You've got all this consolidation. You come back up into this wedge because all you're going to do is you're just going to go like this. You're going to take a wedge. You're going to get up here. You're going to draw that. And you're just going to back test that channel is all you're going to do. That's it. There, you're just going to draw that. You're just going to come up, back test that channel. And right, so look for a back test of the channel above. All right. So you created that channel right there. Let me scoot this down, scoot this up a little bit. Right? Say, can everybody see that? Let me change this to white. There we go. A little smaller. All right. So this is my thunk. My thunk is, you know, go up. Let's, you know, get up into here, get up all in this ass, take a little poke around, and then just break right back down, and then it's all going to be decided right here, right? And I have a completely fictitious line that's drawn over here, right? You know, it does not exist yet. So what I'm saying is there's some line here or here, you know, that's kind of like the must hold line. Breaking into a new lower low is where we're really going to have to assess everything. If we get a nice bounce off here, I would love to see a nice bounce off the 50. I really would like to see a nice bounce off the 50. I would like to see a nice bounce off the 200. I think a nice bounce off the 200 would be beautiful, because that's all it would be, is be just a really great dead cat bounce. Let's see what Alex has. Yeah, really good. I like it. I like it. Yep. Yeah, I like this. And then this also, for me, counts out my A, B, C, to give us the dump back down, because so many of our super high time frame indicators are so insanely they're just so oversold. They're super crazy oversold. So I mean, I would like to see a scenario where we get one more pushback up possibly. Now, just to let everybody know, right? Let's throw in a couple craps, right? Because we're moving into February here, right? We're moving into February. So a couple of February notes we need to throw on here, right? February notes, we got backed, right? Which I think, I think this is a dud. I personally think this is a dud, right? I think backed is a dud. I don't think it's going to do anything. I think it's a dud. And then you've got ETFs, right? So I think they're going to get denied. And I think that going in here, these are your two bad news FUD things that you're going to get. You got a lot of hopeism for. And I think that the backed and the ETFs are both going to get denied, right? So you got February 27th over here. Right, so the February 27th, I think is, there it is, somewhere over there. So there's February 27th for the backed, which I think is going to, the ETFs are going to get denied. Yes, Rennie, as long as the government, dude, it's not like our fucking government does anything anyways. They really don't give a rat's ass, seriously. So, but I am looking here. I want to see. I don't like that I can't not count out an ABC right here. Okay, so this bothers me, right? I cannot count an ABC, right? I can't do it, and this really bothers me right here. Right? How do you get an ABC out of this? This bugs me, right? I can't get I tried to cheat this as an AB and run this as a C, and this is a big retrace of a wave down, like a wave 5 down to the bottom. Really hard to get that. Like A, B, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is wave 1, 2, and then you're starting a wave 3, but there's no volume for this wave 3, like there was no volume for the inverse head and shoulders, right? Everybody's like, inverse head and shoulders, right? It's going crazy, right? And look at how crazy this is. You want to see how crazy it is? Look at this. Bam. We stopped right on the inverse head and shoulder line, right? Look at this shit right there. That's crazy right there, right? Another just, wow, you know? Right? Inverse head and shoulder line right there. Right? So that was the bottom of your inverse head and shoulders on that side right there. Right? So there's your INV line. Right, we're going to let's get text in here. INV. Let's call this support. Right? I mean, that's really your INV support right there. Your inverted head and shoulders. Oop. INV to H and S support. Okay, there it is. That's kind of convenient how well that worked out, right? That worked out pretty convenient right there. So this is my scenario. I don't really have anything else. I will be looking to long. Look, and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to add right here. I am looking to long right here. I want to put a long in right here. I want to long. And if I miss it, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed because I want to put a long in this range. I want to long in here. Right? I want a long up in here somewhere. I do. I want a long up in here, right? It can be a little bit higher than that. Let's call it right up in there, right? Because 3360, right? So we got 3360, but don't get greedy. I'm not going to get greedy, so I'm going to call 3400, right? To 3660. 3360 first long, right? And then 32, I'll have it right there, 3260, 3260 to 3300 for a second long, right? And then my stop loss right under. Now, if I lose that, right, I'll look to long the 50 MA, right? If I looked at, and I'll look to long the 50 MA to get a bounce off the 50 MA, but it needs to be right. It needs to be right. I'm not just going to long for the fuck of it. I need to see this, right? I need to see this playing out. Right, I need to see this play out correctly, so I'll scoot that right over here. So I will be watching for the volume. It's just that simple, right? I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching for the volume. Going to be watching to see what the candles look like. Going to be looking for that big reversal candle, right? There's a bunch of things, right? So what are you going to look for here? So number one, look for volume. Right? Number two, look for big reversal candle. Right? Oh. Right? Number three, pray. Okay? Pray to BBJ. All right. So this is exactly how I'll trade this. And these are 3 great ways to trade. I recommend this. Close eyes, make prayer, right? So this is what I'm looking for right here. I want to see this area is where I really want to come and see if I can get a bounce out of here, right? And if I lose this, all right. So and let me be a little more specific. So I want to hedge. There we go. There we go. Hedge long in here. Okay, that feels better. So I'm going to hedge along in there. Okay, take me out of my stops. And right now I've got a short on ETH. I've got a short on LTC. Right, and I don't mind. I've been just marching down my. I've just been marching my stop loss down. Just marching it down in profit. It's doing great. And this is it. That's all I got for everybody. Let's take a look at a couple alts really quick here. I'm going to buzz through a couple other charts right here. Litecoin, I do see, so this is my 1 day. I see a big ass head and shoulders here. Still see 2,700. I'd like to see 2,700. I don't care. Pull back up here. You got a death cross that's marching down here. I'm fine with that. This death cross is going to close out. You still got a ways to go, but This is going to be a death cross, a bear cross, the 7, and this is on the daily, the 7 and the 30. If they can't get back, if the bulls can't get back up over 31, you have this. So here you go. You got a daily bear cross, 7 and 30 cooking, right? Bulls need to get over this, right? All right, so my target is still down below. There's that. That's the daily right there. It's going to close. It's going to cross. If it does cross, you're going to get a second cross probably slightly thereafter. If this thing does take a big dump, you'll get a cross possibly between the 7 and the 50. That would create a super cross right there. You'll get a super cross effect, which would give you more to the downside, okay? So you get a little bit more to the downside there. Still looking for a little bit back up. I wouldn't mind a little bit back up on this trade right here. Right, let's come just boop. Let's get this down. Oh, wow, that's really too small. There we go. Right, come up a little and then come down. Something like that, right? Here we go. Still looks like a head and shoulders to me. All right. Okay, and then I do want to go. I need to. All right, and let's go over here. TRX is taken off. Listen, I do not like to play TRX. I've just gotten my ass slapped way too many times. Seriously, you know, when you're up there, you're dancing on the stage, and you get your ass slapped, and then nobody tips you. You're just like, you know, you feel violated, right? You feel completely violated, and ETH is just absolutely one of those insane. It's crazy. It's just absolutely insane. I mean, look at this wick on this fucking thing. Look at this wick on this thing. Right? Look at this wick. Come on, people. Come on. Come on. This is a bunch of crap right here, right? You can't get this giant wick and then push up through this thing. This is a monster wick right there. I mean, that's just retarded, right? This is silly. This is just really silly. I get it. You know, Tron, I get it. They got their conference coming up. I get it. I think that after their conference, this thing's just going to tank down and die. SV did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Doing a great job, coming down. This does not look good right here. This could be a little more bearish on the bearish side. Hold on one second. All right, everybody. So listen, that's all I got right now. Got to go to dad duty. I want to say thank you, everybody. I will try to catch up with you soon. This is the Vamp, and I am out.